Hey there, I'm Nina with Nina Suggs Watercolor. I'm going to be doing a review today on some new brushes that I bought from Rosemary & Co. And they're these right here. These are the Designer Red Dot series, and they are a faux sable brush. So they're all synthetic, they're vegan friendly, and you can use them in any medium that you want to. So they've got a good softness to them, but they also have a good snap at the same time. So next, you're going to see me sharing my screen with you on the Rosemary & Co. website, because I know that sometimes the first time you visit a website, you may not know exactly how to maneuver your way around. So I'm just going to share my screen, show you how to find these brushes. I'm also going to provide a link for you so that you can just click on it and go right to it. But I want to make it easy for you if you decide that you want to give these brushes a try. So after that, I'm actually going to demonstrate using these brushes and give you my opinion on them. So make sure you stick around for that.
Here we are on Rosemary & Co. Now over here in the search box, I'm going to put in Red Dot Designer. That's going to take me to their Red Dot series of brushes. The first one right here is the one that I'm after. This is their pointed rounds. Once you click here, then it'll take you to the page for these particular brushes. You'll see this image, which will kind of let you see the length of the bristles, the thickness of the barrel, and that kind of thing on these brushes. Then this column right over to the right, you'll see they have two different handle lengths, a 7-inch and an 11-inch. And just to the left of the size of the handles, you'll see the brush size itself, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And it goes all the way up through a size 14, which I have a size 8 as my largest, and it's a great size brush. So if you're looking for a really large brush, a 14 should be very, very substantial. So let's see what Rosemary & Co. says about these brushes. The Red Dot collection works beautifully in watercolor, oil, water mixable oils, gouache, and acrylic. In fact, all mediums. It's ideal for artists, model painters, anyone looking for a sable substitute that's vegan friendly and economically priced. I'll have a link for you that'll take you directly to this page. So if you like these brushes, you want to give them a try, I'm going to have that link provided. So I'm going to make it as easy for you as possible to get here. Now is the time when we get to play around with these brushes. So as I said, I've got a size 2, a 4, a 6, and an 8. I think I'm going to try my size 6 because I use a size 6 so very often. What I want to do first is see how far my paint will go just filling it with water. And as you can see here, I have this brush full of water. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. So I have got this brush full of water, and it's almost dripping off. It's holding so much. I'm going to just dip into the phthalo blue here on my palette. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit so you can see how far this goes. And we're just going to start laying down some paint. Just go over and over and over until we start running out. And we'll see about how far we're going to get with the load on this brush. Now take into consideration, this is a smaller brush. If I had used the size 8, it would have gone a little bit further. And I'm starting to run out now. Still have a little bit on there, but that's probably about how far that's going to go. But that's pretty good distance, can't complain there. Now I want to get that brush full. This is my size 6 again. I want to show you about how wide this brush will lay down some paint. Need to get a little more on there. So there you go. Let's try the size 8 because it's going to give you a little bit wider path to get that brush loaded up with some paint. Okay, so that gives you a little bit wider path there in case you're wanting to cover more area. I'm just going to stick with my size 8. So let's see how it does with some wet on wet. I'm just covering my paper now with some water, and it's still stained blue because I didn't rinse it all out. And I'll get some more of this blue. Just drop some of that in. And there is a nice feel to the brush here. I'm liking the way that it feels in my hand and how it feels against the paper as I put this color on. And I'm about to run out of that blue. Let me dip in over here. So yeah, I'm liking how the paint is depositing off the brush, wet into wet. That's doing pretty good. I'm gonna grab my phthalo blue because I just totally ran out of it on my palette over there. So I'm just going to dip right into the phthalo blue in my little container here. And now we're going to paint wet onto dry. And again, I like how it's depositing on the paper. I can feel the paper under the bristles of the brush, which I like to have that sensation of being able to really feel the paper as I'm painting. Okay, so I'm going to paint some color right over here because I want to see how well this brush will lift color back off the paper once it's kind of gotten dry or semi-dry. Then I'm just going to go ahead and use this large brush, and let's see how thin of a line we can get using a larger brush. That is something that is very key to me. And if you'll take a look, these brushes have a nice point to them. I like the fact that the bristles are a little bit long on here, and that means that I can hold it way down here close if I'm doing a technique that requires me to really get close to the tip of the ferrule of the brush. And then I, of course, can hold it back here. But if I need to hold it up close, I've still got plenty of bristle there that my hand won't be in the way of what I'm painting. So let's just see how thin of a line we can get with this large brush. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Let's zoom in so you can see that a little bit closer. Let's do that again. So keep in mind, this is a size 8 brush, and it's a nice size brush. So getting these little thin lines like this, that's really good. So what if we want to do like a loose leaf or petal shape? Okay, now I'm not a great person at doing this method because I don't paint in a loose style. So let me try that again. So a nice point at the end, it gets wide in the middle, and a nice point at that end. And you may be better at doing this than I am, but just seeing that thin little line there that I got with that size 8 brush, let's try the size 2 brush and see what kind of a line we get with that. And if you look, you'll be able to tell that the line that I got with that size 8 brush is almost as thin as this line I'm getting with the size 2 brush. Okay, this paint is starting to dry now. I'm gonna go ahead and switch on over to my size 4. I've rinsed my brush out to make sure that it's ready to go to work, and then I've dried out the water, pretty much all of it. It's very lightly damp. So let's see about lifting. Okay, that's doing pretty good. So when I do that, you can tell when I wipe off my brush that it is in fact picking up that color really well. What if we have to lift up a little bit lighter area or a smoothed out area along an edge? Let's take a look and see how it does there. Okay, that's nice. We got a nice smooth edge. Let's try some lifting some more just to see how close back to the white of the paper we can go. Now, of course, the phthalo blue is a super staining color, so I would probably have to use a scrubbing brush to really get back all the way to white, but that is picking up really well. Let's do a little bit more right over here. I will say that I have been really impressed with all of the brushes that I have bought from Rosemary & Co. so far. Okay, so I like these brushes, and I will definitely be using them some more on some paintings, trying them out in a real life situation where I'm doing a painting and seeing how they react with all of the different techniques that I use in my painting. So again, these are Rosemary & Co. Designer Red Dot Synthetic Sable. I think that you will enjoy using these if you decide to give them a try. And I will have a downloadable PDF that will give you all of the sizes along with the prices of these brushes and the information off the website about them, the fact that they're synthetic, but they are a very close mimic of a sable brush, which sable brushes are great, but they're very expensive. So this is your next best option. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this brush review, and always come back and visit, because I'm going to have more reviews on different products, maybe once a month, maybe more than once a month. I'm not quite sure yet on that, but I will be reviewing different products from time to time that are either staples of mine that I use all the time and have for a long time, or things that I'm trying out that are new. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.